So, another tactic of organized harassment is surveillance signaling through classical conditioning, which is when certain stimulus is associated with certain emotions. So, if you are exposed to something enough times, you will identify it as a pattern and associate it with something. And how that works within organized harassment is they can take anything, literally anything, and overwhelm you with it. So then you start to notice it in ordinary settings, and because of the overexposure, you will then come to see that it's a way for them to signal that you're being watched, or just a way for them to disrupt your nervous system. But no one else will pick up on it because no one else has been conditioned to identify that behavior in that way. So, for example, a lot of people who are experiencing organized harassment will describe people doing fake coughs or clearing their throat around them, again, so that they're made to feel uncomfortable wherever they are, and so that it can be signaled that someone who is part of the organized harassment is in the vicinity. And anything can become a weapon if you're conditioned to it. For me, I especially get people taking weird photos, videos. Yeah, there's so many different things that they use to signal that I'm being watched. So how I became conditioned to coughing and throat clearing was, firstly, I think it started with Uber drivers. I just noticed over time that no matter the time of year, every single Uber driver would cough or clear their throat either as soon as I entered the car or at some point during the journey. But it took me a long time to actually see that as a conditioning stimulus. It wasn't until it started happening on foot that I realized, oh, this is one of the signals. I'd have people walk past me on public transport, in the street, and they would cough or clear their throat as they're going past me up the escalator, or they would come and stand next to me and cough, or as they're coming off the train past me, they would cough. And because one of the purposes of organized harassment is to push someone over the edge, to either end their own lives or to commit a crime. The purpose is to unsettle their nervous system, and that's one of the ways in which it can happen using ordinary stimuli, so that because it's so difficult to tell who's coughing naturally and who's coughing on purpose to make you feel uncomfortable, you could potentially lash out at the wrong person, which is why I think being a target of organized harassment makes you one of the strongest soldiers, because you have to be so disciplined and make sure you get it right before you confront someone, because it's designed to make it hard to distinguish between those who participate and those who are just living everyday life. And that confusion is meant to unsettle you and provoke you.